Jenny, back with another book review, and this time it's going to be on American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. And I mentioned this book in my Halloween book suggestions a few videos back, and it was actually requested that I do a longer book review on it, so here it is. And when I was asked to do this book review, I was kind of in two minds as to whether or not to do it after I reread it, because it is most definitely an adult book. I'm giving a warning now that if you are under the age of 18, do not read this book whatsoever. It is extremely graphic, extremely detailed, between sex scenes and murdering scenes, which I will get into later. But I'm like, serious warning. Do not read this book. I'm not recommending this in any way to anyone under the age of 18. Do not read it. I just can't make that any clearer. This is most definitely an adult themed book. I didn't do it in my last video, but I normally read the back of the book, and it's only a short blurb on the back, so I'm going to actually read that, as it will just give you a feel for what the book is before I start to give my own description. Patrick Bateman is handsome, well-educated, intelligent. He works by day on Wall Street, earning a fortune to complement the one he was born with. His nights are spent in ways we cannot begin to fathom. He is 26-year-old and living his own American dream. So, like the blurb says, the protagonist of the book is Patrick Bateman, and he is 26 and works on Wall Street. Along with the name of the book, American Psycho, that is pretty much all you need to know about Patrick Bateman. The beginning of the book kind of focuses on Patrick's day-to-day activities. Him at work, him getting dressed, him going to parties, him going to luncheons, how he interacts with his colleagues and his friends, the way he thinks about everything. It's set in the 1980s and focusing on kind of the vapid consumerism that was prevalent in the 1980s. The book is written in a first-person narrative, so you're seeing the world through Patrick's eyes and the way he thinks, and you're really getting into his mindset. Patrick is completely void of empathy. And it's not even just him, it's most of his friends and the people he knows, his acquaintances. They don't care about each other, anyone else, anyone lower on the social ladder than they are. It's all about what they have, what they're doing, who they're seeing, who they're mingling with. Everything is detailed by what sort of brand he's wearing, every tiny thing, down to like any feature in his apartment, what sort of hair gel he uses, how much he works out, where he goes, how much something costs, everything. Like, it's not just a simple sentence, and that's to emphasize the way he thinks and the culture that they live in. On the very first page of the book, one of Patrick's friends says, "I'm creative, I'm young, unscrupulous, highly motivated, highly skilled. In essence, what I'm saying is that society cannot afford to lose me. I'm an asset." And I mean, that is how they all think. The way it's written is that you're kind of brought into his monotonous way of thinking, so that when it actually gets to the like really graphic scenes, it even packs more of a punch, because it shocks you out of this kind of stupor that you had been lulled into, and that it makes it all the more graphic. He's obviously a psychopath as well. He just obviously is. But because he's so numb to the normal everyday activities, that he goes to such extremes of killing and raping, and you're shocked when it comes to it. And the sex scenes, the killing scenes, they are all extremely graphic and detailed. And I can't emphasize that enough. You know when some people go, oh, it's really detailed, you're kind of like, oh, it can't be that bad. No, seriously, please take my word on this. It is actually really detailed. I mean, I've seen this film I don't know how many times, and it didn't affect me that much. Whereas this honestly kind of disturbed me more than any horror or thriller film that I've watched. Because I don't know, I've said it before in a video that like horror films don't really get to me anymore, but yeah, I was reading this book again and I was kind of like, oh god, why am I reading this? And you're kind of like, why are you doing a book review on it then? But saying that, the fact that a book can cause such intense moments with you and really make you cringe and be like, oh god, that is key to how a book should be and how much of an effect it has on you. And I actually think it is a really good book, and I mean, you just have to be prepared for the graphic nature of it. It's not a book that I would read too many times, but it is a book that I think should be read if you know what I mean. I don't think it deserves 5 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, which a lot of people, if you read it, and I think this is going to be like a, are you crazy, why did you like this book? Or you're actually going to like appreciate the way it's written and think it is good, but probably never ever read it again once you've read it. But I still think it deserves a 4 out of 5, and there's probably going to be a hell of a lot of people that disagree with me. But similarly, go check out Goodreads. There is a lot of people that do agree with me. If you've seen the film and you thought that was really graphic and really like out there and you weren't comfortable watching the film, you are not going to like the book. The book is way, way worse than the film. If you stick through the first bit of the book, the first 100 pages, then it gets, if what you're waiting for is it to really kick off and him to go completely crazy, then you need to get through the first 100 pages, but you also need the first 100 pages to be that slow and detailed for you to be so shocked by the things he does, because it like I said, it lulls you into like this stupor, and then when he just kind of snaps, then you're like, whoa, because you've been so kind of dulled by what's going on. And that is a necessary part of the book. It's not that he wrote the start of it bad. You need to get in on the whole feel of the culture and that time and the way Patrick actually thinks before you can let it go to cuckoo land. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Serious warning though, do not read it if you're younger. Like, I can't emphasize how detailed and graphic it is on those sort of scenes, but I think it's a really good reflection on society. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. It is definitely unlike anything I've read. I don't think many authors are willing to go to the depths of depravity that Bret Easton Ellis did, but do you know what? Not many things shock me or a lot of people anymore, and this book definitely did, and for that I think the book deserves kudos. So yeah, American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. I will see you in my next video with a less scary book. I hope you're good. Bye.